These football players choose money instead of the right career decisions. Georgino Wijnaldum's contract with Liverpool ended last summer, and he could choose any club to join as a free agent. Barcelona was the best option for the Dutchman. He was invited there by Ronald Koeman, with whom Gini worked in the Netherlands national team. For several weeks, negotiations were progressing and things were moving towards a successful closing of the deal. But at the last moment, Wijnaldum received a call from PSG. The Parisians offered a more lucrative contract than the financially struggling Barca. So Georgino sensed a profit, refused the Catalans and went to the French capital. But there was one problem. For the Blaugranas, he would certainly have been a player of the starting lineup. And for PSG, there is a huge competition in the center of the pitch. And Wijnaldum should have understood this. But no, nothing bothered him. And after a season in the camp of the Parisians, he feels unhappy due to the small number of game minutes and is already thinking about going out on loan. At least there's a lot of money on the card, as he wanted. And there was a time when Barcelona was perceived as a place where you can earn good money. By the age of 23-24, Arsenal midfielder Alex Song was considered one of the strongest defensive midfielders on the European continent. His game was a mix of intransigence, toughness, and at the same time excellent long passes. In his last season for Arsenal, Song made 14 assists in 44 games across all competitions, which was very impressive for a defensive type of player. In the summer of 2012, Barca came for the Cameroonian. The Catalan club paid 90 million euros, but did not consider Alex as a first-team player. Song was destined for a place on the bench, but he didn't even mind. Why? Because he was very pleased with the salary. I met Barca's sporting director, and he told me I would not get to play many games. But I didn't give a fuck. I know that now I would become a millionaire. When Barcelona offered me a contract and I saw how much I would earn, I didn't think twice, Song later said. After Barcelona, he went to West Ham, then to the Russian Rubin, then the Swiss Sion, and now he plays at the Arta Solar Club from Djibouti in East Africa. It's a shame. The skills would allow him to build his career in a way more interesting way. But at least Alex was honest in his intentions. The next example of a player making a decision for the money is a former Chelsea playmaker Oscar. 10 years ago, moving to China for the sake of a huge salary and a comfortable end of a career was considered the norm, but how can you do this when you are only 25? Oscar was at the peak of his form and looked like one of the leaders of Chelsea. He won the Premier League and the Europa League with the club, and Brazil fans considered him the one who should lead the Seleção to success at the World Cup 2018. But suddenly, Oscar decided that he had had enough of playing at the top level. Earning large sums became his main goal. In the winter of 2017, the guy moved to Shanghai SIPG for a ragged 70 million euros for Asian football. The promised salary could not but tempt. It was approximately 25 million euros per season. It is clear that in China, Oscar is no longer interesting to anyone, and now he is remembered only as a player who did not want to fully realize his potential. However, he does not regret what he did. Every football player or every person who works wants to earn money to help their families. I come from a social background in Brazil, which is very poor. We didn't have anything. When I made the decision to come here, I was thinking more of my family than of my career. Gianluigi Donnarumma is a man of the same kind. The goalkeeper spent 8 years in Milan, and last summer he decided it was time to leave. During the 2020-21 season, he set conditions for the Rossoneri management that he would extend the expiring contract if the team gets into the Champions League. Milan complied with his demands and offered a much improved agreement, but Donnarumma announced his departure anyway. Milan fans saw him off as a banner reading, "We don't forget traitors. Be careful when you'll be back in Milan." Soon, PSG approached the player and the transfer took place. The Parisians guaranteed him a salary of 7 million euros for the season, and Gianluigi decided not to miss the chance, even knowing that he would have a tough competition with Keylor Navas, because of which his playing practice could be seriously affected. In fact, that's how it happened. Donnarumma finishes the season with 23 out of 50 possible appearances in all competitions. And since PSG is in no hurry to let Navas go, little will change for the Italian keeper in a new season, unless they can add a couple of zeros to his salary. We cap a fresh one for the final. Kylian Mbappe's transfer saga has turned into a complete circus. For a whole year, the media sent the PSG striker to Real Madrid because he wanted everyone to think so. In interviews, the Frenchman never was tired of repeating how he dreamed of playing for Los Blancos since childhood and admired Zinedine Zidane and Cristiano Ronaldo. And what about the comics in which he didn't hesitate to swear his love for the royal club? On top of this, Kylian said that he was learning many languages, including Spanish, for the sake of new challenges. He also emphasized that money was not important to him and that he would always have time to earn. The main thing is sports ambitions. Mbappe turned down many offers from PSG for a new contract, thinking that the management was too chaotic and did not understand their own goals. Until recently, the whole world was convinced that Kylian would follow his dream to Real Madrid. All these sweet stories from his lips delighted the fans of the Spanish club, until it turned out that he was simply using the attention of merengues in order to squeeze the best offer out of PSG. The Parisians ended up giving him a contract with all the clauses he wanted. 300 million euros as a signing bonus. 100 million euros a year salary, as well as the ability to choose a new coach, sports director, and manage transfers. A huge cash increase and new powers seduced Mbappe. The childhood dream was forgotten in a second, and Kylian decided that the status of a truly big shot at PSG is a better scenario for him. Even the constant failures of the Parisians in the Champions League he no longer remembers. The requirement to show football ambitions, in fact, also turned out to be somewhere at the bottom of the money suitcase. Since then, Mbappe has been hated by all Real Madrid fans and even some neutral spectators. His move to the Santiago Bernabeu might have shown that a dream cannot be bought, but Kylian turned out to be just like many footballers of our time. Friends, write your candidates for this top in the comments, and it's time for us to say goodbye. It was Top Football. Thank you all for watching, and bye-bye.